Hey, it's Golden Buddha here, back with some more RPG horror stories for your listening entertainment. Today we have a story about family D&D and a dad who got a little bit too edgy with his character. Roll post. My dad played an edgelord and ruined my one-shot. I live across the country for college, and D&D is one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes with friends. This last summer, I did a one-shot with my mother, sister, and cousin. We had a great time, although my mother would get frustrated and a little passive-aggressive when she didn't understand what was going on. Nonetheless, we had fun. This winter break, I offered to do another one-shot with my dad, his girlfriend, my sister, and her boyfriend. My sister was very excited to play again and pulled out this adorable Arctic ferret whisper bard named Bobo. I just reskinned it to Tabaxi. Her boyfriend initially was reluctant, but ended up falling in love with his concept and character creation. He played a tiefling beastmaster ranger with a bear named Cheeseburger. My dad's girlfriend was going to play a high elf celestial warlock. Sadly, she had to drop the last minute due to her work schedule. My father played an Aasimar phoenix sorcerer. Now, in high school, my dad was a theater kid. He would get the leads in musicals and was a super charismatic guy. So, of course, he wanted to be a sorcerer. I was unsurprised by this and helped him build his character. Now, because this story is about my father, I will dive in a little deeper into his character concept. It was brilliant, I loved it. His creativity and investment really lifted my spirits. His character was an angelic judge who would punish evildoers and give them sentences based on their crimes. He was lawful good. He said he was named after the planet he was born on. They were playing in my homebrewed universe I play with my friends back home, which has multiple planets. He just made up one, not even paying attention to the list of 8 planets I gave him. This was fine, and I let it slide because it was a one-shot. However, his family was abducted by the family of someone on trial, and they threatened to kill his wife and children unless he freed their family from punishment. He did not oblige, and his family was killed. This destroyed his spirit, and he abandoned his job. He believed that his duties held him back and had an alignment change. Chaotic good. Now he wandered the planet, serving his own justice. I love this idea. One of my biggest pet peeves as a DM is when players explain their character's backstory to me, along with motives, and do a complete 180 in personality while playing them. That's what my dad did. The scene started in an empty, rundown tavern in the middle of a forest. There was a lizard folk man with a fishing pole on his back, along with a tabaxi barkeep. Bobo entered first, asking both barkeep and the lizard folk if they had any milk. Carrion, my sister's boyfriend, the tiefling ranger, arrived with his bear, Cheeseburger, next. Bobo asked him for milk. He said no. Then arrives Dario, my father's Aasimar sorcerer. Bobo asks him for milk. He calls Bobo a rodent, and Bobo gets sad. Me. You arrive in the bar and see the same description I give everyone else. What will you do? I'll approach the lizard man. I ask for his name. He turns to you and says, my name is Jank. And yours is? I stab him. I'm sorry, what? He was my target. I'm sorry, what? I was hired to kill him. A fisherman. Yes, that was the name I was looking for. No, you never told me that. That's not how this works. I convince him that he shouldn't stab the lizard folk, and educate him that killing NPCs is a big no-no, and that would have been an important aspect of his character to communicate with the world builder, the DM. He rolls his eyes, but seems to understand in the end. Anyways, as time goes on, no issues really arise until the end. He's playing a stereotypical edgelord, too cool for any of this. It felt unoriginal. Nothing like how he explained his vigilante, chaotic good, peace-bringer character to me. My sister is doing a wonderful job playing Bobo, and her boyfriend is getting a lot more comfortable and is playing very well too. The main plot was something I was proud of. They were investigating a dead part of a magical forest, which was inhabited by zombies and sentient black goo. They noticed corrupted roots sucking magic, and any spells they threw at it. Little did they know, they were going to find a mind flayer. As my dad continues to play this edgy character, just generally being a bit of an asshole in character to NPCs and the party, but not enough to be a nuisance. The end fight comes up, and they're facing a mind flayer in his lair. They notice the roots start making their way up to the podium in the center of the room. Now, what was supposed to happen was that the mind flayer would keep reforming until they destroyed the podium. But when Dario, my father, landed the final blow on the first stage, I congratulated him and asked him how he wanted to finish him off. He explains it while laughing and picking up his things. I tell him to sit back down and that it wasn't done yet. He seems confused and goes along with it. He thinks, oh yeah, the podium. Now, earlier in combat, our ranger had put a cordon of arrows around the podium where the mind flayer was. Only one of his 3 arrow mines went off. I explain how, as he approaches the podium, he sees a massive, blackened, beating heart at the center of the podium. That is what all of the corrupted roots were connected to. As he looks at the heart, the mind flayer reforms and screams. The arrows all go off. My dad isn't having any of this. He argues. I thought we were done. That wasn't serious. I wouldn't actually do that if I knew what was there. Sister's BF. You saw me put the arrows down. I forgot. Me. But you didn't know the heart was there. The mind flayer reformed next to it. And he is going to attack you now. All the mind flayer would have done is used his devour brains and perished right afterwards. It wouldn't have even killed Dario, because he would have just exploded and not died. No way. I thought we were done. He's packing up at this point. No, the story isn't even done yet. Don't you want a resolution? That was the resolution. We killed him. You didn't kill him. He's right next to you. He's gonna devour your brains now. That's not fair. I wouldn't have gone there if I knew that. You didn't know that. None of you did. That was the big twist. Dario didn't do that. Can we go back? You already spoiled the big reveal. That was his heart. You can't go back. You already spoiled it. You don't need to make such a big deal out of it. It's not a big deal. You ruined the surprise. That was the reveal. It's not even over yet. Then fine. Is Dario dead? Happy? He wouldn't have even died. You didn't even let me finish the scene. You would have killed him and the heart in your explosion. You all would have survived. Whatever. I had fun. He began to leave the table. You don't want a conclusion? I set up this entire story for you guys and you don't even want a conclusion? I got my conclusion. I don't care about you guys. Keep playing if you want. I'm done. At this point, I was heartbroken. I spent several weeks planning this one-shot for them, and I felt like he didn't even care about the story. The story was 80% of the session, and all he wanted to do was kill the monster. My sister and her BF were uncomfortable and tried to console me later. However, my sister isn't confrontational and said that it wasn't a big deal and that I should just drop it. We never finished it. I packed my things and without a word went to my room. I'd love to play with my sister again, but I haven't spoken a word about D&D to my father since. He ruined the spirit I had for it and wanted to share with him. He told me he's glad I shut up about it. I tried to show my dad my passions and in the end felt disrespected. Too long, didn't read. Father plays a character who was disruptive and complained when the session continued past killing the big monster. End post. Jeez Louise, don't be this person. I feel so bad for this guy, man. I really do. That sucks. Don't be this kind of father. You know, if your son is trying to share something with you, whether it be D&D or football or stamp collecting, just be supportive. Jeez, this guy was such an asshole, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's really all I have to say. Well, let's hope he has better sessions, and maybe not play with your dad again. Drop some comments down below to tell me what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. This is Golden Buddha telling you to stay enlightened.